Hey guys, Lisa from Hello Happy here, and today I've got a super awesome video for you. I'm going to show you how you can add a zippered lining to any crochet bag you've already made in the past. It's surprisingly easy. I'm making this tutorial specifically to go with my PDF for my plush bow bag. She has a zippered lining. So this pattern's available at my website, Etsy, Ravelry, some other places, whatever, everywhere. So this is the bag I use as the example to show you how to do a zippered lining. You can see it's a really unusual shape, but you can use this tutorial for literally any shape. You just have to, modify a few things here and there. But as you can see, fully lined because of the shape, the lining's not perfect. I am not a professional bag maker, so I don't care. She's fully functional, however. And yeah, if you are super into this bag, you can get the pattern at my website, so you should do that. You can use this tutorial to make any shape of bag lining, whether it's square, rectangle, or round, or bow shaped. You're gonna learn it here today. It's easy, okay? Now I am a crochet pattern designer, so obviously I have to try and sell you the pattern as well. So here's a quick video of me showing off the bag. It's really cute. What more is there to know? It's a bow and it's also a bag. So if you like the pattern, please do get it from my website. Yeah, look how cute it is. I have to come up with more words because I'm still in the video. Oh, it's about to end now. Okay, thank you. Before we get started, before anyone says anything, you know what? It's a feature, not a bug. Okay, shh. Shh. I know. Shh. Alright, let's get started. Lay your bag down on top of your fabric, but fold the bottom of the fabric up so it's folded at the bottom. Your project needs to line up with the bottom fold, and you want to have an extra ½ inch on the sides and the top of the fabric. Mine is more like an inch on the top. It should be like ½ an inch. Ignore that. Next up, you want to grab a pencil and trace around your bag. Be sure to draw lines where the zipper starts and stops as well. And now you want to cut out your fabric. Be sure to keep those ½ inch margins on the side and the top. But the very bottom of the bag should just line up with the fold and not have any extra space. At this point, you want to iron your fabric and iron it while it's still folded so that fold gets nice and crisp. So next you want to go ahead and unfold your fabric and lay it down with the wrong side facing up so you can see your pencil line. And you also want to lay the zipper up above, and you want the zipper to be face down. This is how you're going to sew these two pieces together. Here's a zoom in shot just so you can see that the zipper is face down. Now you want to grab the fabric and put it right on the top edge of the zipper. And the way you're going to sew it is you're going to sew the top edge of that piece of fabric to the top edge of the zipper. The next thing you'll need to do is get that fabric attached to the zipper. So grab your supply of sewing clips and start clipping it into place. Go slow, take your time, mold the fabric to the zipper, vice versa. You definitely want this to be perfect because there's no going back. So make sure you follow the curves with the fabric and you get it lined up perfectly. It's annoying, but it's absolutely worth it. When you get to the middle, you'll kind of have to awkwardly fold the fabric a little bit to keep the edges lined up, which works just fine. Just make sure you don't sew through that folded part later. Once you get everything pinned into place, you'll want to start sewing using a back stitch if you're hand sewing. Otherwise, you can use a machine, but I'm afraid of doing curves like this on a machine. So once you finish sewing, you should have something that looks like this. It's very curvy. Don't get excited. Just kidding, you should totally get excited because you just did the very first part of your zipper lining and it looks pretty good, hopefully. Now you're going to do the exact same thing with the other side of the liner. You're going to line it up with the zipper. And I find it's best to line up the sides with the other side first so that you make sure they don't like get crooked or whatever. So do one side first, and then go over to the other side and make sure those line up perfectly, and then clip those into place, and then go around with clips just like you did on the other side. And once you've got all the clips on, sew it on again, either with a machine or hand sew with a backstitch. And here's what you should have once you've sewn the other side: a perfectly functioning zipper. Let's just unzip that bad boy, see how she goes. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Perfecto, that is what we want. So now you have to sew up the sides of the bag. So flip it over so that you can see your pencil sketch, and that's on the other side. Flip it me, there it is. So you can see where my pencil is. So where you drew before, that's where you want to stitch, either with a machine or by hand with a backstitch. Be sure not to sew into the zipper. You want to just go right underneath the zipper when you're sewing. So once that's done, it's time to put it inside of your crochet bag. Alright, this next part is super satisfying, so go ahead and unzip your zipper and stuff the lining in your bag. And this is going to take a minute depending on the shape. If it's rectangle, you're solid, you're good to go. If it's like circular or funky shaped, this will take a minute to perfect. You're going to want to, pull the zipper forward a little bit so that it sits where it's supposed to. And for this shape, you really want to line up the middle with the middle first and then figure out the rest of the shaping from there, because that's like your anchor point essentially. So you want to go slow and reposition as you go, and you want to just keep it even. You want to keep an even tension with the zipper and the crochet bag, and just take your time and get it all lined up well. One thing that helps a lot with keeping both sides evenly spaced out there is kind of closing the bag as if it would be zipped, and then seeing where the zipper falls naturally when you line it up with the other side, and that helps just determine where it should go, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, I'm sorry. I really hope more than anything, if you don't already have any, that this video convinces you that you need to own sewing clips, because like pins are not going to get this job done. You need clips. They're so good. And you can buy big clips and small clips. These are small clips, but they actually came in a combo pack with big and small. Like, they're so useful. You really need to get yourself sewing clips. And at this point, I'm just kind of squishing it around and making sure no parts of the zipper kind of bunch up anywhere, and that it seems like it's even on both sides. So now it's time to start sewing. I don't know how you would do this any other way besides hand stitching, but here we go. So I'm going to connect the thread to the bag so it's nice and secure. I'm going to go ahead and do a ladder stitch. So you want to insert into the zipper and then come back out through the zipper. You don't want to go through the fabric. Don't go through the fabric. Right, so you go in and out, and it looks like it's already tangled, so hang on. And we're back. So before we start ladder stitching, actually what I'm going to do is secure the zipper to the bag a little bit more. So I'm just making a bunch of like little teeny tiny stitches going through the zipper and the bag, and because of the texture of the yarn, they're invisible, you can't see them. This just makes it super secure, so definitely recommend doing a few of these before you start the actual like sewing. All right, so at this point, I actually start ladder stitching, but unfortunately, I didn't have it centered in the camera for this first part, but in a few seconds, I figure that out and I get it centered back on camera, I promise you. So in order to do the ladder stitch, you want to just go in and out through one side and then in and out through the other side. And this will make sense in a second when I get it on camera. All right, so you're going to go in and out through the zipper, which is one side. And of course, try not to get tangles. And then you're going to go in and out of the crochet bag. Make sure you don't end up going through to the front of the bag. You need to stay on the inside of the bag. So here you see, you just go in and out, and it's called a ladder stitch because it makes a ladder. And you can wait until you've got a few stitches and then tighten your thread. You can leave them loose for a while, which makes it a lot easier to deal with. So you can see in and out, and then you go through the zipper, and then through the bag again, and then through the zipper. I'm thinking you get it. And then I think I tighten after this one. Once you've only got maybe about 1/2 inch or a centimeter left of the zipper on that one side to sew, just stop where you are and secure the zipper to the bag with a few stitches and tie a couple of knots. Don't cut the thread, just let it go for now. You just want to make sure this part's nice and secure, because in order to get like the ends of the zipper to sort of align correctly, there is a better method than just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? So just pause here, make a few stitches to really secure this end, and then I'll show you. So what you want to do now is take the clips out from the side you haven't sewn yet, and then zip up the zipper. Get it all mushed in the lining there and make sure it lines up well. There's no weird little lumps. So what you're going to do is just open it a little bit while holding the zipper ends and making sure they don't go anywhere. And then once you've got them lined up the way they should be, you can resume sewing. So you won't use your clips again, you'll be using basically the zipper to hold the sides in place. At this point, I'm now securing this other end to the bag the same way I did before we zipped it up. Again, just to make sure it's super duper secure. So really important step, you don't want to end up like ripping your zipper out at any point. That would suck. So, and then I'm just doing a few tiny stitches back and forth like I did at the start of the zipper as well, to make sure both sides aren't going nowhere. And once it's all secure, you can resume your ladder stitches across the zipper. I took this video just to show you guys some kind of like troubleshooting solutions. So when you get to the middle, it can be a little bit tricky to make sure absolutely everything lines up. And I'm so glad I'm in view of the camera right now. But one method you can do is line up the sides on the sides of the bag rather. And then you can put a clip there, which I'll show you in a second, like while the zipper is zipped, just to keep it in place so you can make sure the zipper here in the middle is lined up properly and it's not going to make the sides be uneven and cause some awkward rippling or anything with the zipper. So here I am lining the side up because that's most important. Then I'm going to put a pin or a clip. Oh, there's the big clip. I'm putting a big clip right there. So that way I know it lines up properly. All right, so we made it to the end. All that's left is to do a few more invisible stitches to make sure the zipper ain't gonna come apart. And then you're done. Here she is, Miss America. Yeah, I don't actually know how that song goes, my bad. But here's what you should have. You should have a zipper that's all lined up perfectly. It's an awkward shape, so it just kind of gets stuck there in the middle sometimes. But yeah, is it 100% perfect? You know what? It's not. Yours is going to come out a lot better if it's a square or a rectangle. But you know, if it's a bow shape, it's going to be okay. I mean, it functions. It works. It's not ugly. It's a little much. But you did it. We did it. It was a team effort. Alright, folks, that's a wrap. Hope you learned a bunch and you made a lining for a bag you wanted to, because if not, why are you here? Anyway, if you want to make yourself a bow bag, you can get the pattern from my website. And honestly, I'll probably sell the bag too in my sample sale area. So just go to hellohappy.net, click shop. There should be a link to my sample sale, like at the top somewhere. Bye.